And now, Anna Does Everything proudly presents Fifteennerella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Fifteennerella. Fifteennerella had 7 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina. All 7 of them made Fifteennerella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said 15, Fiona to Nina all together. One day, the king of Quintuppingham's messengers arrived and said, "Hear ye! Hear ye! The king of Quintuppingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quintuppling." But Fifteennerella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They then argue over who will marry Prince Quintuppling. Later, Fifteennerella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Quintuppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks Fifteennerella what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Fifteennerella?" Fifteennerella responds in white for, "I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quintuppling, but I have lots of chores to be done." Fifteennerella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." She chants the magic words, "Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu," and waves her magic wand. Because of that, Fifteennerella's chores are done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Fifteennerella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Fifteennerella has 15 pumpkins. Fifteenerella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, "Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu," again, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 15 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 30 strong horses, and then Fifteennerella is reclosed into a gown and crown. Fifteennerella said, "I've never seen such a quintuple-tastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough?" Fifteenerella's fairy godmother said, "Well, you can't. But have fun, Fifteennerella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before." Fifteennerella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quintuppling was wondering who he should marry. Fiona to Nina say all together, "He's walking towards me!" But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Fifteennerella. Prince Quintuppling then asks, "May I have this dance?" Fifteennerella responds, "I would be delighted." Fifteennerella and Prince Quintuppling danced happily together. But later, Fifteennerella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quintuppling was really worried that he might never see Fifteennerella again, so he traveled all around Quintupplingham to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where Fifteennerella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of Fifteennerella, Prince Quintuppling finds Fiona to Nina. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper?" Fiona is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Quintuppling notices Fifteenerella's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! Fifteenerella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Quinta coming back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And maybe I can do it. A big tradition. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrews Everything proudly presents 15nerella 2. 15 Wishes Come True. Sequel to 15nerella, which is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon two times, 15nerella and Prince Quinta were happily married. But Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eloise, and Nina have lots of tricks up their sleeves. Several weeks later, 15nerella is pregnant but very ill. It's a good thing 15nerella's fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. So she chants the magic words. Quintidentity, quintidentity, quintu! And waves her magic wand. Because of that, the baby is cured and a girl. They name her Fatima. A week later, to celebrate Fatima's birth, they put on a light show. But on one night, while 15nerella and Prince Quinta were sleeping, Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina steal Fatima and take her to the middle of nowhere. The king of Quinta has messenger saw it and said, "Oh no, she's in trouble! Oh, big trouble! Oh no! He then goes over to the king of Quinta and tells him, "Your Majesty, your granddaughter is captured." The king of Quinta gets so infuriated that he yells, "Sound the alarm!" And his messenger blows a trumpet alarm that his guards hear in order to find Fatima. 15nerella and Prince Quinta were really worried that they might never see Fatima again. But Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina was plan is interrupted by Fatima's foster parents, Fernando and Florence. Fernando said, "What are you doing all alone, little lady?" Florence responds, "I don't know, darling. Let's take her home." "Come back with our study," said Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina all together. And Tinnerella was 15 years later. Fatima is a teenager now, and she's playing with a group of teenage girls, but then said, "Wait, where does that cave lead?" As she finds a strange cave and goes outside to find out. She finds a magic lamp. Meanwhile, back at Quinta 15nerella and Prince Quinta are now full of despair, as they will never see Fatima again. Fatima rubs the magic lamp, and a genie comes out of the lamp and says, "Oh, thank you so much, young lady. I've been stuck in the lamp for 15,015 years. You rubbed the lamp and set me free. As a thank you for that, I must grant you 15 wishes." Suddenly, someone screamed, "Help! Someone is stuck in quicksand!" Fatima uses her first wish to get him out by saying, I wish he was out of the quicksand. The genie said, your wish is my command. Because of that, he was out. Later, Fernando and Florence then tell Fatima where they found her. Near Quinticumham. Fatima is surprised about the news and so she begins her journey home. Another 15 years later, Fatima uses the other 13 wishes. She is 30 years old now and only has one wish left. Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eloisa, Eloise, and Nina tried to steal her again but couldn't find her. They complain except for Nina, who found Fatima. Fatima uses her 15th and final wish and says, I wish my evil stab hands would not stop me. The genie said, your wish is my command. In turn, Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Lisa, Eloise, and Nina into stone statues. A celebration in Quinticumham welcomes Fatima home. Fifteennerella and Prince Quinticumham were really worried and hugged Fatima to welcome their daughter home. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Sure is a fun story, right? And if you want to see maybe tomorrow, Fifteennerella 3, Quinticumham Love and Glee, tell your friends about it. A bit of a day. Maybe this could be a daily tradition. Take care. Bye. And now, Anna Knows Everything proudly presents Fifteennerella 3, A Quinticumham Spree. A second sequel to Fifteennerella based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 3 times, Fifteennerella and Prince Quinticumham and their 30-year-old daughter Fatima went for a walk. Suddenly, someone screamed, help! A man named Felix is stuck under a rock. Fatima tries to lift the rock to save Felix, but she's not strong enough. Fifteenerella's fairy godmother, Arai, comes to help and cast a spell to lift the rock. Felix said, thank you so much, Fatima and Quinticumham family. And he and Fatima share a kiss. The king at Quinticumham is so impressed that he offers Felix a visit to the castle. And so Felix agrees, but Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Elisa, Eloise, and Nina still have lots of tricks up their sleeves. Later, at the castle, Fatima and Felix share a romantic dance. And 15 weeks later, a wedding is planned. And for Fatima and Felix's marriage. But Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eloise, and Nina capture Fifteennerella and Prince Quinticumham. Felix manages to save his parents alive by killing Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eloise, and Nina, only for them to steal Fifteenerella's fairy godmother's magic wand to stop the cast of story, resulting in the wedding being ruined and cut short. Fortunately, Fatima manages to use a knife to kill Fiona, the oldest stepsister that causes her to drop Fifteenerella's fairy godmother's magic wand and catches it. And not a minute too soon, the wedding is saved! And so are Fifteenerella and Prince Quinticumham. The king of Quinticumham said, my dear granddaughter, such bravery! that there's one and one thing only. A magical necklace. Just wrote the jewel on it, but only for emergencies. Fatima accepted the warning. And then they all lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's Doers, if you want to see some more sequels, tell your friends about it. And yes, maybe it can be a daily tradition. And I hope you enjoyed this story. And I bet you want to see Fifteennerella 4. Take care! Bye! And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Fifteennerella 4, The Legend of Mount 15 or More, a third sequel to Fifteennerella based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 4 times, Fatima and Felix were getting ready to have their very first child. But Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina still have lots of tricks up their sleeves. Fifteennerella fairy godmother tries to stop them, but they steal her magic wand to lock her up. They then use it to send Fatima and Felix on top of Mount 15 or More. Fatima and Felix don't give up, though. They find a sled to slide down from Mount 15 or More. But along the way, they encounter the legendary Big 15, a scary monster who lives on top of Mount 15 or More, has 3 hands and a question mark on his belly to show the missing number, and loves puzzles. Big 15 said, 15 divided by what equals 5? And what equals 3? That causes him to spit out new friends. The new friends' names are Aiden, Brayden, and Caden. They introduce each other and become good friends. Fatima and Felix then invite Aiden, Brayden, and Caden to the castle, and so they gladly accept. Later, when they are home, the king and queen of Cuplingham is so impressed, and just in time, Fatima is pregnant. And Fifteennerella and Prince Queen of Coupling are 75 years old now. And the king and queen of Cuplingham himself is over 100 years old. A boy is named Fernando. The king and queen of Cuplinham's great-grandson, the queen of Cuplingham, Fifteennerella and Prince de Cuplingham, grandson, and Fatima and Felix's son. And Fifteenerella's fairy godmother got her wand back. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. And maybe you're right. Maybe this could be a daily tradition. And good night, everybody. Take care. Bye. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Fifteennerella 5, Double Factorial Alive, a 4th sequel to Fiverella based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you this bedtime story, shall we? Once upon 5 times, today was Fernando's very first birthday. But Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, and Eloise and Nina still have lots of tricks up their sleeves. They disguise themselves as particles, so no one will know it was them. Meanwhile, Fifteennerella says, I want to thank you all for my grandson's birthday gifts. But what about your gift, father-in-law? The king of Quintupleham has a magical necklace for Fernando, his great-grandson. But he only remembers one thing it does. Make a wish and rub the jewel on it. Only for emergencies. Surprise! Shouted Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eloise, and Elisa and Nina all together. They then steal Fernando and take him to the double factorial desert. By the time they arrive, they feed Fernando a magic potion. But their plan is interrupted by Fernando's foster parents, Blanco and Blakely. Fiona to Nina say, "Not so fast," all together and try to protect Fernando. But he says, "I wish my evil step-grandaunts will get away from me." It rubs the magic jewel on his necklace. Because of that, Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Elisa, and Eloisa and Nina are swept away. Back at Quintupleham, the king sends his guards to find Fernando. But they see that he drank the magic potion. The king worriedly says, "Oh, this is horrible news! Who knows what will happen?" Blanco and Blakely take Fernando to their house. Fernando grew up 15 years later. He then plays with a group of boys with disc. One of them says when the disc is about to hit a marketplace, "Fernando, heads up!" Fernando rushes to help by leaping 30 feet into the air to catch the disc. But he leaps so high into that he accidentally crashes into a billboard reading "Fresh red apples," that causes the letters to come loose. Fernando tries to put the letters back, but in the wrong order. "Dapper fleshers," one of the boys says. "Nice spelling skills, Squirnando," and snatches the disc back. After failing so many times, Fernando knows what to do. Use his magic necklace, he said. "I wish the letters of the billboard spell fresh red apples," and rubbed the jewels. And not a minute too soon, the right order. The townspeople saw it and were impressed. They were so impressed that the mayor offered him a gold medal with MAGIC on it to honor him. Blanco and Blakely were impressed too. Later, back at Blanco and Blakely's house, they tell Fernando where they found him, 15,000 feet away from the Quintupleham. Fernando was surprised about the news, and so he begins his journey back home. A decade later, Fernando is 25 years old now. Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Elisa, Eloise, and Nina try to find him, but it's no use. Along the way, Fernando hears someone scream for help. A 23-year-old girl named Falara is stuck in quicksand. Fernando uses his magic necklace to help her. He says, "I wish Falara is out of the quicksand," and just in time. Fernando then asks Falara to join him, and so she agrees. A celebration welcomes Fernando home. Fernando tells everyone in Quintupleham about his journey. His parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents were surprised, and they lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's doers, sorry it's been a few hours, but good night, Andrew's doers. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise, too. And take care. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Fifteennerella 6, a 15 fraction fix. A fifth sequel to Fifteennerella, based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 6 times, today was Fernando and Falara's wedding. The king of Queen Cumberlingham gives his great-grandson and great-granddaughter-in-law a math puzzle for their child someday. But Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina still have lots of tricks up their sleeves. Fiona and Prince Quintuppling are almost 80 years old now, and then the king at Quintupplingham announces that he's now too old to rule the kingdom. So he also announces a contest of who will become the new king of Quintupplingham. The first challenge, shoot an arrow at the target that has the number 15 on it. Fernando is first, and it is a direct hit! The second challenge, balance 15 books on their heads, and Fernando wins again! And the third and final challenge, the Gauntlet of Quintupples. And Fernando is now the new king of Quintupplingham to take his grandfather's place. And even better, Falara is for the queen of Quintupplingham. And Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina still have lots of tricks up their sleeves, though. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. And maybe you're right. Maybe this can be a daily tradition. And I hope you enjoyed this bedtime story. Take care, Andrews Doers. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise, and etc.